All right, shalom, shalom. Coming to you, giving our praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rachakodash. All right, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and salutations to all you all came out there preaching His truth throughout the four corners of the earth with truth and sincerity in your hearts, and for the love of the gospel. All right, it's the brother Shamar coming from Great Millstone Branch, Gary, Indiana. All right, with another lesson. Lessons are going to be about the prophecies speaking, man, because the prophecies are going haywire right now. All right, this coronavirus that's out, that's all according to biblical prophecy, man. When it talks about the plagues and talks about the pestilence, all right, this virus that is sweeping the world right now is all according to biblical prophecy. All right, and we all know that to be true, you know. And I was reading the book of Habakkuk, and I just wanted to get Habakkuk 2, Habakkuk 2 and Habakkuk the second chapter, start from the top. You understand? Because Habakkuk 2 and 1, it talks about how prophecy is going to stand, you know. It talks about how, though it wait, that's really what I wanted to get into. Though it wait, tarry, you know, for it surely will shall not tarry. All right, so without further ado, this is Habakkuk 2 and 1. I will stand upon my watch, and I will set me upon the tower, and I will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. All right, so when he says he's going to watch, he's going to stand upon his watch, and he's going to wait to see what the Lord is going to tell him to say and to speak into the people. All right, it's symbolic of what we're doing, symbolic of what we're doing right now. All right, the book of Isaiah 62 and 8 says what? It says the Lord hath sworn, I'm sorry, 62. 62 and 6, I'm sorry. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 62, verse 6. It says, I have set watchmen upon thine walls, O Jerusalem, all right, which shall never hold their peace, day nor night. Yet that they, I say, yet that make mention, ye that make, I'm sorry, I say yet, ye that make mention of the Lord keep not silence. And this is talk about prophesying the downfall of this kingdom, all right, and the ushering in of the kingdom of Yahweh Shem Yahushai coming afterwards, because it is written, you know, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Okay, so this is what we're preaching. This is the watchmen. We are the watchmen the Lord has set upon the walls of Jerusalem. What? Watching for what? Watching for the prophecies that He told us to look for. Okay, watching for the things that He said that was going to happen before He came back into the earth. All right, it's the book of go back to Second Esdras 9:1. And he answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, all right, part of the sign passing is the prophecies. Then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time, all right, wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which He made. So the times that the Lord has told us, but in the ancient world, all right, because what the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old have prophesied against many countries and great kingdoms. All right, when Jeremiah was prophesying the downfall of Babylon, man, he was speaking about the daughter of Babylon. All right, because the Babylonians were overthrown. Okay, but they were never destroyed by fire, by nuclear fire, man. You know, they were never destroyed by arrows that shot from one end of the world to the other. Okay, so when they were saying these things, these signs to pass, they were talking about in the latter days. You know, the latter days, and this is how we know that the Lord is close to visiting the earth which He had made, because what we're seeing parts of the sign pass. And if I keep reading, you know, it's gonna go into pestilence. Oh no, not in this particular one, but actually, let me get it real quick. I believe it's Matthew 24, if I'm not mistaken. Matthew's 24th chapter talks about how it's prep. There's going to be pestilence in the land. Yeah, Matthew 24:6. It says, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, and see that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." And we see wars and rumors of war. All right, there's been a proxy war for the last 5 years now. There've been tariffs put on China for like the last 2 or 3 years now. Sanctions and tariffs, and these are all acts of war. They're just not throwing ammunition at each other yet. Okay. Um, Verse 7, "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, pestilences, and earthquakes in diverse places." And we're seeing all three of those things: famines, all right, pestilences, and earthquakes. And the word pestilence going into plagues. And this is one plague that is circling the whole earth. Okay, and we're seeing earthquakes in diverse places all over the place, man. So now we know that we're seeing parts of the sign pass that the Lord has told us before. Okay, and we're doing what we're coming out here and we're we're making these videos on YouTube. Declaring that the Lord is coming back. That's why Esau Edom was trying to take our videos down off of YouTube and telling them and making sure they're not kid friendly. Okay, but that's the most hypocritical thing that you can do, because you push the agenda. You push the agenda. Okay, you push the agenda of how women can be free and have women's rights, right? And you got these women proud about their body and self comfort, and they go out in the streets and they dress like harlots, and you have children watching that and seeing that, and then it's saying that that's okay for a woman to go outside with a thin shirt on, no bra. All right, where her chest, her breasts are obviously visible, nothing left into the imagination. You see young women and young men look at that and they think that it's okay to dress without modesty. That's not kid friendly. You have these homosexuals in these homosexual parades. Okay, so telling these children, teaching these children that it's okay to be a homosexual. That is not kid friendly. Not according to the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, not according to the words of the Bible. So that's hypocritical. And for that, upon many other reasons, you have to pay. You have to. And the Lord is going to have you pay. No matter what you do, no matter where you go, the Lord will recompense you for the things that you have done. All right, now I'm moving on to verse 2. It says, Habakkuk 2:2. "And the Lord answered me and said, Write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it." All right, so he said, write the vision. So he wrote it down, particularly probably on paper or a scroll. But back in the ancient times, they had scrolls. They wrote things on scrolls back then, pieces of parchment, and rolled them up, which is much more durable than the paper that we have now today. But anyway, so he wrote it down, and the vision was what? The prophecies, and made it played upon tables. Played upon tables is going into the book of Psalms. I believe it's Psalms the 8th chapter. Proverbs 8 or Psalms 8? I think it's Proverbs 8. Eight and 9. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 8, verse 9 says, "They are all plain to him that understands." Start up a verse. Proverbs 8 and 8. "All the words of my mouth are in righteousness, and there is nothing froward or perverse in them." Froward means to lie. Okay, to be froward. Or presumptuous. You understand? Having lack of understanding. Nothing froward or perverse in them. All right, perverse means profane, means out of the way of the Lord. It says, "For they are all plain to them that understand it, and right to them that find knowledge." Okay, so the point is, they are all plain to him that understand it. and write to them that find knowledge. What is that saying? That is saying that if the Lord has, it is plain to them to understand it. So if the Lord has imparted to you this understanding, all right, then it's going to be plain to you. All right, just like how Matthew 13:10, it says what the Lord gives you knowledge. All right, this is Matthew chapter 13 verse 10. It says, and the disciples came and said unto him, why speakest thou unto them in parables? He answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but unto them it is not given. All right, so unto you it is given the understanding of the mysteries, but to them it is not given. All right, the book of John 3 says a man can receive nothing except it be given from his Father in heaven, from the Father in heaven. It's talking about understanding. All right, so the ways of the Lord are plain unto the holy. Okay, and I believe that's that. one more precept. It's in the book of Sirach 34. I'm not sure. I'm not sure in what verses these are at. Okay, I think it's 34. Let me get it. Sorry, 39. Sirach 39. It's 39:24. Sirach 39:24. As his ways are plain unto the holy, so are they stumbling blocks unto the wicked. And that one little line carries a lot of weight. Okay, that one little line. That one little line carries a lot of weight, because what his ways are plain unto the holy, yet are they stumbling blocks into the wicked. So when you go back to Habakkuk and it said, make the vision plain upon tables. All right, it's going to be plain to those that are given the understanding to understand it. All right. It says, the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. Let's look up that word run real quick in the my sword. That word run. Now, to run, runners, to run swiftly, to dart, to bring or move quickly, to hurry. Because when I read that run, let him run that readeth it, that means let him make haste, let him be on fire, so to speak. All right, to run, whatsoever reason, especially break down, divide, speedily, footman, guard, bring hastily, make, run, post, stretch out. So when it talks about, the definition really doesn't go into the exact meaning of what it means. When it talks about him that run that readeth it, it's talking about pressing towards the calling of doing the work of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. It's that effort of running after the truth. You following it after it. You thirst after it. You hunger after it. All right. That's why when it says down the Strong's definition, a primitive root to run for whatever reason, especially to rush. So we're rushing what? It says what? Buy back the time because the days are evil. All right. So we're rushing and speedily getting this word up within us, man. To guard, to protect. All right, it says to break down, to break these scriptures down, to divide speedily. It says to bring hastily, because what? The Lord comes in haste. He said, what did the Lord? Behold, I'll come quickly. All right. Hold thyself, hold thyself fast to which thou hast. Least any man take thy crown. All right. So the Lord comes quickly, man. So we gotta. So the Lord's hastening, we're hastening in the day. So we're running. We're running pressing toward the mark. Okay, let me actually get that. Where is that at? I press toward the mark of the higher calling. I think that's in Philippians. 3:14. It's the book of Philippians 3:14. I started 13. Philippians 3:13. Brethren, I count not myself to have apprehended, but this one thing I do, forgetting those things that are which behind, and reaching forth into those things which are before. So reaching forth. What did that word run mean? One of those definitions means to stretch. All right, the home stretch. Reaching forward to those things that are before me. So you're running after the truth. You're running a race. You're trying to make the elect. You're trying to give diligence. All right, you're giving your effort. Okay. It says what? It says verse 14. I press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of Yahweh and Mashiach Yahweh Shai. All right. So I press toward the mark of the high calling. That press toward the mark. Look at the word press. It says to run swiftly in order to catch a person or a thing. So that's what the word runs mean. Let him that run that readeth it. All right. That's a lesson. That's another lesson. But this lesson is gonna be on the pestilence. But yeah, man, that's cold. That's epic. That's epic. But yeah, that run means pressing toward the mark. That word mark, it goes into the Y, which means what? Oh, it says observer, a watchman, a distant mark looked at, a goal or end one has in view. See that vision, that vision. So that mark is a goal. Okay. So going back to the book of Habakkuk, um, verse 3 is the point. Verse 3 is the whole point of this lesson. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak. All right. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. So everything has a season. It tells you that in the book of Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter. Everything has a season and a time of when it has to happen. All right. That's why the Lord has put bounds on his people. What's that, Job? The Lord has put bounds on them that he shall not pass. The Lord has put bounds on this devil that he will not be able to pass. It's like Job 14. Let me find it for you real quick. Yeah, 14:5. It's the book of Job real quick. Because what is it? The vision is yet for an appointed time. And part of that vision is putting down Esau, Edom. Because what? Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. All right. So Job 14:5. Job 14:5. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. All right. So the bounds that he cannot pass is part of prophecy. All right, because the Lord has put ways that he cannot exceed. Okay, he has to abide by the bounds that the Lord has given him, and then when the Lord comes back, he's going to put him down, and that is prophecy. All right, that is the Habakkuk. The vision is yet for an appointed time. The vision of what? When the Lord is going to come back and redeem his elect and execute judgment that is written. All right. It says, verse 3, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Okay? And that's the point. And the visions are speaking very loudly, very clearly. And we've been preaching these things on how it's in the, well, I say we, But my apostles and my elders have been preaching these things on the highways and the byways for 30 plus years, and they're finally happening. All right, and people are acting, and the whole world is acting. Okay, but these are all meant for scourges for amendment. So the elect aren't gonna the Lord is not gonna let this nothing happen to his men. And I believe that wholeheartedly. Now, does that mean be foolish and just go out and do whatever you want to do? And no. You still take precautionary measures. You still wash your hands before you cook, and you still make sure you're sanitary. You still make sure everything's sterilized. Before you start to touch your face. Because coronavirus spreads through like the common cold. Coronavirus is really a severe form of pneumonia, all right, which attacks the immune system and your respiratory system. Okay, so you contract it by eyes and nose and mouth. All right, and you still be wise as a serpent. You still, take precautionary measures and buy a mask when you go out to the store. So when someone sneezes or coughs that has the disease, you won't be able to inhale it, and you get it too, and pass it on to other brothers and your family members. All right, that's just being wise. But I believe through the spirit and the strength of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua that this disease isn't going to touch any of his men. And if it does, man, it's just a trying of our faith. All right, I wholeheartedly believe that. And hopefully this lesson was edifying to the elect of Israel. And until next time, I'm going to say Shalom.